Hello, RPG Limit Break fans! We have a very exciting Sunday matinee race for you all today among elmagus, dustygriff, khobahi, and penguin8r. Elmagus comes into this race with 8 points and 2 races to go, so he has taken first place on all of his races in the league so far. Dustygriff comes in with 5 points. He has 2 races to go. Penguin8r has taken first place on his first race and he holds 4 points. And khobahi, this is his first race of the league. My name is PMAkfal, and I am joined with...
Hey guys, this is Vitasia. Man, I am so hyped for this race. We have a Sid start between the here. Both elmagus and penguin8r taking first place in all of their races. It is absolutely hyped. Those two are going to be just blazing through. Khobahi, this is his first race of the league. Really, I tend to think that dustygriff has the most to gain or lose here. He has a second and a third place finish. He really has to place well here in order to keep his dreams alive at the very end. But this is kind of a nightmare matchup for him with both elmagus and penguin8r here.
And you have a lot of benefits with a Sid start. Like you said, Sid is a very offensive tank to begin with. Later in the game, he is pretty slow. He can hurt you a little bit with his slow agility. Any predictions for our next character?
I have hopes. I have dreams. And if I go along with Chad, I'm hoping for a Kidia or an Edward or something to make life difficult for these runners.
Yes. Personally, if I was playing, I would be hoping for a Palom or a Porum, or most likely my favorite, Rosa.
Oh, everyone loves Rosa. Rosa is bae.
So we are running K2, meaning that the key item at the very beginning of the game isn't always going to be a key item. It could be anything from the crystal to a white shirt.
Absolutely. And looks like we are getting started here. So we're going to go ahead and run off and we're going to get our answer to our first question. It's a young. Hey, so much HP to start.
Yeah, HP and, a Sand Ruby, so that's another character right there.
What's this? This is, no, this is too easy of a start, guys.
So we're going to definitely have a offensive powerhouse to begin with. I don't know, do you think any of our runners are going to go directly to Kaipo to check out who that character is that's sleeping?
I would not doubt if they would. Both characters, I mean, you don't necessarily need a ton of equipment for either of these characters, at least compared to what they have right now, to make it worthwhile. Some of them, looks like all of them are going to go ahead and start with clearing out Baron and getting an idea in terms of what we're going to see for another character here.
Yeah, they're going to peek and Tella. Okay.
If I can avoid that, I would. But we already have a cat claw, which is one of 2 cat claws is what we're needing. But already Yang's best weapon, Young, whatever you want to call it, already one of the best weapons that he can equip right off the bat. This is going to be a pretty free seed at this point in time.
Yeah, right now we're moving. We're going to be flying in there some crystal gear too in Baron. So picking up Cecil might be some nice defense for him.
You say crystal, I say money.
That's exactly what penguin8r's thinking as well.
There's sirens right off the bat too in Baron, so we have our grind already.
penguin8r only picked up 3 of them, but we know exactly where they are, so this is not a sirenless seed. I have seen several sirenless seeds on this league, so...
And looks like penguin8r is going to be our first runner who's going right to Kaipo. I honestly would expect all of these guys to run right to Kaipo to tell us. He is going to go ahead and check the item shops, or the weapon shops. Now, with that S2 flag, it means the shops are going to have kind of limited capacity right at the moment. We have a twin, though.
Yep. And if this is Palom, which we'll find out in just a second, it is Palom, which is the best black mage, I feel, in the game. He gets nuke fairly early. He is really powerful. Gets Quake, Virus, definitely some good. One battle on Ordeals will give him the experience to get all the 2 spells.
Yeah, not to mention, as a black mage, he has the highest HP possibility of all the black mage possibilities. So it's possible that he would even be able to survive an unweakened Big Bang from Zemus. So that's a real solid play and a great character to get there.
So we're looking. This is hopefully not going to turn into a trolley seed.
You know what? Who knows? At this point in time, this is when it starts out this easy. It's really easy to believe that this seed is going to troll a bit. And we do see Penguin8r is going to go ahead and clear out Damsian at this point in time. Worth noting, we still don't have any idea in terms of how we're going to get to the underworld. Is it going to be a hook seed, a magma key seed? Those 2 can play into either way, but I would be feeling pretty confident if I were these runners right at the moment.
And let's see. See, mostly just looting and checking. We're gonna have Penguin8r check East Hobbs to see who he picks up here. It should be a pretty easy fight with that cat claw.
Absolutely, and he's going to equip as much as he can, and he's going Artemis arrows and looks like a charm rod in order to kind of boost Palem's magic power right at the moment. Although not really much he can do there. We will see what this 4th character that he could be picking up. I mean, we're sitting at sub 5 minutes and already looking at possibly having 4 characters.
And
it's a Kane.
Yeah, so we got all the offense you could want to start early.
Can I say it? Am I allowed to say it here?
That's gotta be Kane.
All right. And Odin, I mean, this isn't a bad spot for Odin. You have a lit 1 with Palem, so it'll be all right.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't even get to the point where his sword's up, but you always have that chance when his sword is raised that a magic attack will instantly kill him. And Khobahi went just to make sure that Anna was still dead, and she is.
You know what? Some people avoid getting the hovercraft just because if it's a magma key seed, you can avoid doing it. But with these particular flags, knowing that it's either you'll need the hovercraft either for hook or for rat tail at some point, I always like to just go ahead and get it. There's no point in double dipping if you can avoid it.
Oh, we got heroin in the antlion cave.
That's nice.
But we have no one to wear it.
Right? Yeah.
Heroin armor can be can bite you too. If you forget to take it off at the Zeroma's fight, I've many a time run that I've put it on Rosa with a Artemis bow, and then I forget to take it off when I go to the Zeroma's fight, and she just gets annihilated by Big Bang.
All right, so we have some runners that are in Antlion Cave right now. Should be doing all right here. Khobahi is also picking up his cane.
And elmagus and Penguin8r look like they're going to completely clear out the Antlion Cave before going down to fight the whatever we see down here at the bottom. A lot of runners will pass on all the treasure to save a little bit of time.
Oh, and this is one of the easy bosses. I don't know if I'd actually be terribly happy to see this particular boss here. This is a relatively easy boss with the King and Queen of Eblan in a relatively easy spot. You really are hoping for this in a much more difficult spot. So this will be nice and easy for both elmagus and Penguin8r right at the moment, but I think they were hoping to save this boss for a little bit later.
And elmagus picked up a dancing dagger at some point, so he is using that on Palem, give him a little bit of offensive power before he gets his spells through leveling up. Kind of taking some paladin percent strats there.
Absolutely. It does look like Dusty is over in Mysidia right now, and he sees both some hourglass and some star veils in
Mhm.
the item shop here. So both of those will come in handy if he needs to do some low percent strats, maybe making an early dive somewhere.
And Elmagus picked up the magma key in Antlion Cave, and as did Penguin8r, so they are probably extremely happy that this is not a hook seed.
I mean, right now, this is turning out to be a very fast seed. You have effectively a full party minus a white mage from what you're really hoping for. Already have underworld access. I mean, what more? We're really just looking for a white mage, and then your crystal and your access. I mean, we've checked off a lot of boxes already.
We have, and Penguin8r is going to go to I'm not Kaipo, Toria. I think he's going to check some shops up here, sell off some stuff, maybe see what he can pick up.
Yep, there's 2 item shops in Troya, so gotta go ahead and check here because items with these J flags going on, these items are really going to be the key to a lot of things that let you do things that you're not necessarily supposed to do. The hourglasses, the Bacchus wines, the sirens, the coffins as well, illusions, which we do see here, which really makes some bosses trivial. That really makes such a big difference here, and it just makes all the item shops absolutely mandatory to check.
And Elmagus is picking up his cane right now. You think he's going to go directly to the underworld, or you think he's going to go check some shops just like Penguin8r did?
I would hope that he checks some shops, especially that Mycidia shop that we saw dustygriff ended up checking seemed to be relatively loaded. If you need to do some low percent strats, I really think that's going to be what we're going to do, or what he needs to do, unless he finds some hourglasses elsewhere. But I sincerely hope he checks some shops.
Now we're in S2 flags, so some of these items, the better items, are going to be in later on shops. Is that correct?
Absolutely. S2, the way that works is that shops that are gated behind other key items, for example, your Baron Key shop, your Eblin shop, anything in the underworld, the further progressed it is down kind of a chain, the more likely that the stronger items are going to be there. The most potent shops, for example, the Kokol shop. But at that point in time, if you have gone that far, you don't necessarily want to rely on anything that you have to buy.
And it looks like Khobahi's going to run the Fabul. Going to check out Fabul a while. He's checking the shops. I don't know if he's actually going to do the Gauntlet spot.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people try to route the Fabul Gauntlet spot, and especially when you have the Magna Key early with another Sheila check, just so you can check off a couple items at least at a time. We'll see if that's what he decides to do. We have Penguin8r already checking out Dwarf Castle. He gets some kamikazes.
That's interesting. I've usually see people sell those. I've never seen anyone really utilize those too much.
Well, it's interesting because you have 2 high HP characters, and kamikazes will deal damage equal to the HP of your character. So having a Sid or a Young be able to use those is actually kind of interesting if you need to.
That makes sense. And we're going to see who the Fabul Gauntlet is. The Dark Imps. And with his high offense party, he should be able to plow through this one pretty easily, especially with Palom with those Fire 2, Ice 2, and Lit 2 spells.
Yeah, and if he was worried about some excess damage that they would be doing, if he had those stops that he used, he could be able to use those as well with the hourglasses. Nothing really in the other item shop in the underworld. That name of this town slips my mind.
We gotta go ahead and check on Yang down here. Yang is gonna check Yang. And we're gonna loot the shop. Or loot the town. Ooh, a rune axe.
I mean, that's absolutely wonderful. It's the best weapon that Sid can equip, but it's also a pretty decent weapon for Kane. So if you're light, the wooden hammer is still pretty decent for Sid, at least at this point in the game. But they're doing really well right now. We do see elmagus looks like he's going to do a mini grind here.
Looks like, yeah. And he picked up some Artemis arrows and equipped the samurai bow on Sid. So wow, that's some high attack there.
Yep, but this is a nice little mini grind that elmagus is going to be able to do. It's going to be very, very nice for him. He's going to be a little bit higher level than anyone else at this point in time. Might be able to go ahead and cheese some fights once he gets into where Penguin8r is going to in the Fey March.
Yes, and that's a strategy a lot of people do use, is try to grind up early, maybe do 3 or 4 fights down here before moving on. It makes things like the Dwarf Castle easy. You know, like you said, in the Land of the Summoned Monsters, they have those bosses that could be Dragon Mist. You never know. Penguin8r picked up Adamant. Was that the Adamant armor or the actual Adamant? Oh, it was the Adamant armor I'm seeing in chat. So that is going to be very helpful.
Who do you put that on right now? I mean, you don't have a white mage, which is still a little bit scary right at the moment. Do you put that on a Yang? Do you put that on your Palom? I mean, who's your target with this party?
At this current moment, I would probably just sit on it, because I don't think he desperately needs to equip it right now. I generally would put it on a heavy hitter of mine, but only if I have something like a white shirt or something for the mages. If I'm hanging on to it and then it gets late game and I have nothing, I stick it on my white mage.
All right, Penguin8r is going to be the first to show us what these bosses are. Oh, they're Bagan and Kenyatzo. Neither of them are particularly free, so he's going to say, nope, I'll come back a little bit later.
Yeah,
no, he's saving?
Thanks. Oh, he might.
Okay.
No, he was just checking the chest. He scared me a little bit, but scared and excited me just a little bit. But that adamant armor also could come in handy if he gets to a spot that is particularly nasty, guarded by Golbez or something, because equipping the adamant armor makes you immune to those that whole demolish. So if he desperately needs to stick it on there, he can. So I think he is going to hang on to the armor for a little bit.
Yeah, and elmagus, even with those levels, he says, nah, let's go somewhere else. Let's try our luck elsewhere.
Yeah, with Kanazo's in the Leviathan spot, and that's a pretty high HP spot. And hits really hard as well. So unless you're really confident, I would stay away from that spot. That Leviathan spot is 35,000 HP. Penguin8r is going to do a mini grind here as well.
All right, so dustygriff is getting ready to just enter the Fey March at this point, and Khobahi has been spending most of his time in the upper world, is just now heading into the underworld.
Yeah, he picked up the Twin Harp. Where did he pick up the Twin Harp? I missed that.
I think that was the grind,
Gauntlet.
the Fabul Gauntlet, yeah.
Right. And Penguin8r is going to go check on Yang, it looks like. So Penguin8r and elmagus are on very, very similar paths.
Well, and with what this seed has been giving them right now, I don't necessarily blame them. It's interesting. The only white mage that we know for a fact we have access to is the second worst white mage in the game is going to be Tella, and that he is located in the Barren Inn. So if you get desperate for some healing, that might be something you end up thinking about doing here before too long.
But you'll have to do Ordeals if you want to even use him for anything, because his Cure 2 isn't going to help you too much. So we got Penguin8r is going to do Fabul to find the Twin Harp. We might hear some nasty music this seed after all.
I'm all for hearing some nasty music myself.
And for those of you who don't know or are fairly new to the randomizer, there are tons of Easter eggs in this randomizer, one of which is the Twin Harp music. It's randomized, could be from any game, could be pop culture, anything like that. So have your keep your ear open for it if we go through the Twin Heart Cave, through the Cave Magnus.
I will absolutely be looking forward to it. I'm a big fan of music, if people didn't know that.
Well, I always love to hear that as a music teacher. It's good to hear those that share a love for music.
Now, people who listen to me on stream don't necessarily agree. They wish I wasn't such a music person, but that's okay. All right, so elmagus is already done with his, or he's starting his gauntlet. Penguin8r is right there and completed it, so confirmed Twin Harp here.
Yep. And Khobahi is going to do a mini grind as well. The only person that has not done that is Dusty. Dusty's been hanging out up top, as you said before.
Yeah, I thought I saw him go underground at least at some point, but he backed out pretty quickly. And Sheila, what's our first item that you're going to give us?
The Earth Crystal.
Oh.
So Penguin8r and elmagus getting that, if they, if elmagus goes and gets that, they're definitely, I would, with the grind that they've done, Zot is going to be pretty easy, especially with their party and the levels they're at. Also, Fabul Gauntlet gives you a free heal.
Well, and right now, between what Penguin8r and elmagus are going to be doing, they have both the Twin Harp and the Earth Crystal. I got to imagine they're going to make a beeline right over there to Troya and just route the two of those in. So we're probably going to get an early Magnus Cave check here before too long. Meanwhile, Khobahi is showing us Mylan in the Dwarf Castle.
Interesting. I'm surprised that he's going to take this, because this is a pretty tricky spot. But I don't know if Khobahi put Artemis arrows on or not. Although that doesn't matter. I think it's white arrows that you want for Mylan Z. Hitting pretty hard, though.
Yeah, I mean, he did some mini grind. I think he's fine here. The worst that he has is just he's had some armor issues, so Mylan is going to hit him with a truck. But he should be all right.
Yeah, this is only an 8,500 HP spot, so a couple more hits here and he'll be done.
All right, so it does seem like Magus is on his way over here for some music.
Some nasty music at that. And as I've said at the beginning, these key item spots are not, in K2 are not guaranteed to be a key item or for any progression. So any of these plays could end up as a dead end.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to keep moving forward, though.
Oof.
Well, hello there.
Oh no! And Fu's the character in Dwarf Castle, and he got whiffed on.
So Fu dodged the Mega Nuke, and now Wyvern's getting ready to use wall strats and single nuke. This is gonna be absolutely terrifying. Now this is kind of a low HP spot.
3,000. So if he can do 3,000 damage, he gets through, and I'm sure he will go and pop an antacid as soon as this is done if he finishes it and continue.
Now this could pay off for Khobahi if this ends up being the crystal. Yeah, he has it down. That's go calm down. I'm sure his heart rate is through the roof right now. But he's rewarded with Fusoya, which is going to be our first really nice white mage as soon as he gets the spells, and also a key item that none of the other runners have. Penguin8r shows us just the Protect Ring, and we're getting ready to have our nasty music for elmagus.
Yeah, let's see what we got here.
I have no idea what that is.
Is that from Final Fantasy V? Or is that from one of the earlier ones. Oh, Final Fantasy VIII airship, or yeah, the airship Final Fantasy VIII. I should know that.
Okay.
I just played through that a couple weeks ago. So
I might get raked over the coals, but Final Fantasy VIII was one of my least favorite Final Fantasies.
I can respect that. I enjoy it for nostalgia purposes mostly. But we have a legend sword from Dwarf Castle. Thank you in chat. Let's see, Rubicon in the Cave Magnus.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult because that glare, it doesn't matter if it's a low spot or not, it will still hit you like a truck, but he gets through.
And what weapon is Kane rolling? Is he rolling one of the Blizzard Spear Ice Brand? Because that hit for over 2K.
I think it was the Blizzard Spear, and we got a Luca key in this spot. So, fetch quest, anyone?
Maybe. Someone points out Penguin8r does not have a Blizzard Spear or Ice Brand, so this might be a little trickier fight, unless he can get an Ice 2 off with Palom when his cape's open.
Well, I also thought he had a rune axe, which against magic type casters, and I believe Rubicante does count as one, still hits like a truck.
It does. So he shouldn't have any problems with this one. Is Khobahi gonna go try some bosses down here in the?
Well, I mean, he's probably taking a look at it.
He thought about it.
Inveterable correcting me, and I appreciate that, sir. Vanilla Rubicante isn't magic type, but Rubicante in the elements is. So I appreciate that, Inveterable, one of our many talented runners also in this.
Penguin8r's gonna hear his nasty music. We got Valvolus was in the Baron Inn right after, I forget who was prior to that, but he's gonna be disappointed. Dusty's gonna be disappointed to find the Protect Ring. So not only do you have to take Tella, you get a Protect Ring as well.
I mean, I think I'd rather have the Protect Ring than Tella, I'll say that much.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. He got the Baron Soldiers. So this should be a pretty easy one for elmagus here. He's going to go ahead and stop him with Hourglass. Hourglasses are amazingly useful items in this, because there's the bosses that are susceptible to status ailments can be stopped, such as the Baron Soldiers, and elmagus is going to, looks like he's going to use the opportunity to get some extra experience by killing that officer, because generally once the soldiers are dead, he will run, but he is stopped.
And help me, I believe that the amount of experience for killing the officer scales with the amount of HP he has, so that the individual soldiers, once you kill them, are worth slightly less XP than the officer itself. I'm not entirely sure if I have that correct. I hope it's right.
I'm not entirely sure on that one. Oh, we've got a Dark Knight. The Dark Knight himself.
Yeah, and at this point, I am ditching Cecil there. I do not want Cecil to run my party. I want a white mage, and that's about all I'm looking for this party. Now, Khobahi's in a good spot because he has Fusoya.
Yes, and with every boss in the Fusoya challenge on, he will get 3 more spells and a little boost to his HP until he's at full power. So,
Yeah, and we see elmagus ditching for Edge. Yeah.
And we have no guarantee that Cecil's only good if you find a weapon for him. But you also got the downside of him as your agility anchor. Without Cecil in your party, you got a little more play with your agility anchor.
Now, elmagus is in kind of a rough spot right now because he does have no healers still. 0 healers. He didn't even go pick up Tella.
Yes, and that's a risky play going using Quake because he's got the CPU just up. He took out the little globes, and they'll be using the globe if he survives, which he did not.
Ooh, man, Magus, you gave me a heart attack.
That was a little scary. That was a little bit scary for me. But elmagus doesn't know what he's doing. There's a reason why he's taken first in his first 2 races.
I was gonna say, when your best heals is just out DPSing everything. That's life goals right there.
Well, the CPU fight, like you were saying, the attacker will use Mazer, and that's the only attack that you'll get unless both the smaller balls are down. Mazer only does 1/10 of your maximum HP. So if you've got consistent healing, it's not a problem. Or if you can out DPS that, which he had no problem. Just taking about both of those before Globe 199 came out could be a little scary.
So, funny story here. As soon as you ditch Cecil, you got the crystal sword.
Ouch. Ouch. But that also means a large quantity of money, because that sells for a lot.
This is true. And I think I would still rather have the money because even with the setup, you got the next best 4 fighters that you can possibly get. So I think you're fine.
Yes. Ego Buff in chat posts a question. Would you ditch Cecil if you knew about the crystal sword beforehand?
With this party, yes. Absolutely.
I might not, actually. I would probably ditch Sid because of how slow he is, but that's just me.
Right now in this situation, because none of them have gone up to Ordeals, and Ordeals is 3 bosses and cutscenes, and I'm trying to avoid Ordeals right now, so if I still have Dark Knight Cecil at this point in time, yeah, I think I would pretty well ditch him.
Oh, we got the getting rid of. Yep, he's Penguin8r is doing the exact same thing that elmagus did. Now elmagus is going to go check out the dwarf castle. Do you think he is going to ditch anyone for Fasoya?
I sure hope so.
I would hope so as well. I would imagine he's probably going to be ditching Sid.
Probably Sid. He still doesn't have Tella, does he?
Yes, he did. He just finished Baronin. Or
Well then,
he saw Tella. I don't think he took him.
okay. Even then, yeah, either Sid or maybe Kane. I mean, I personally love Young, so I would keep Young, but I can see him ditching Young or Kane.
Now Yang's HP is so high when as he levels up that he can eat big bangs and counter nukes easily in the Zeromus fight.
Yeah, and that would be kind of a rough call. I mean, this is a good situation to be in. It's, okay, I want to keep all the characters. Which one do I ditch? As opposed to, oh my god, I have both Dark Knight Cecil and Edward. Why can't I ditch them both?
And Khobahi is doing Ordeals. But he does have Fasoya, if I'm not mistaken. And having him, 3 bosses on Ordeals is 9 new spells.
This is true. I mean, you also have to think in Khobahi's case, this is his first race. He's trying to maximize the amount of points, and this is a loaded run. He's trying to do the things that none of the other runners have done, and it's a logical conclusion at this point to say, hey, I don't think any of the other runners have a reason to go to Ordeals. Let me go ahead and do it.
And elmagus ditched Kane. Got a wall up on Yang for the Mega Nuke, so... And it whiffed. Did Sid survive a Mega Nuke?
I think Sid survived a Mega Nuke.
Wow. I don't believe I've ever seen a character actually get hit by the Mega Nuke and survive.
Yeah, Sid's flexing right now. He goes, yeah.
Wow, that was... I didn't think it was possible to survive a Mega Nuke, so I learned something new. Although I usually just start crying when I see Wyvern, so...
I mean, that's fair. Khobahi showing D's Lunars also up here on Mount Ordeals.
And they are not fun, but you can, I believe they're susceptible to stop, are they not? Or am I wrong? Oh wait, no, they're susceptible to frog.
Yeah, they're susceptible to frog at this point in time. Which, at this point, just, get your quacky boy out and you're fine.
Quake is a great spell. It is, doesn't take a lot of MP. It's a very fast cast, and it does a lot of damage. And it goes through wall.
Oh, they're susceptible to their own breath attack when reflected. Okay,
Right.
Supremacy correcting us. And the key item up on Mount Ordeals is the crystal!
Wow, Khobahi is probably extremely happy for that. That gives him a significant edge on the competition. Now he just needs to find the way to the moon. He's got a white mage in Fusoya. He can cure with that, pick up a couple ethers. Got the black mage. I mean, he's got the party.
Yeah, he's ready. All he needs is a way up to the moon, and he's set. We know that sirens are in Baron, and elmagus is making a dive into Luca Cave right now. Everyone up to this point in time has been avoiding Mount Ordeals because they haven't needed to go there. Khobahi first with Fusoya, first one with the crystal, making the plays.
Yes, that was definitely the right thing to do. A lot of runners avoid ordeals like it's the plague. Like they do not like going to ordeals. Personally, I go there. I don't think it takes too long. There's some items up there. I know it does eat a lot of time, but inside of the little shrine, it's a very low HP boss spot. You get a free heal going in, you get a free heal coming out.
And here's the interesting thing, is that all of our runners have ditched both Tella and Cecil at this point in time, so any motivation for them to go up to Ordeals is gone. The last possible thing they might be thinking is to go up there before finally traversing the moon, or if they're trying to get some easy, quick bosses for their Fusoya.
Yes, Dusty hasn't even done Dwarf yet, I do not believe. A Bahamut from Luca. So that was a dead end.
Yep, he's going to check the boss here real quick just to make sure it's not the D-Lunar. Nope, it's Calbrina, and he says, I'm done.
Bahamut really isn't worth taking unless you have an early Rydia. Even later in the game, I mean, Bahamut's a good summon, but Nuke is much better with Rydia. So unless it's early in the game and you find it early and you have Kydia, it's just not worth it.
All right, so Khobahi is now picking up his item in Baron. He hasn't even done the Tele chain yet, which will get him the Earth Crystal, which will really put him in kind of an interesting spot, and that will make Khobahi make some interesting decisions.
Well, Khobahi already has the Earth Crystal. He got that from Sheila.
Okay.
Baron is just the Protect Ring.
Right. So, yeah, this is... Right now, I mean, we're still looking, as audience members, we're still looking for our path to the moon. We don't know where the pass is, and we do not know where that dark crystal is. And we're quickly running out of spots. elmagus is showing a couple locations here in the tower, and we also haven't tried our luck at either of the bosses in the Fey March. So, really, we know where the crystal is, and Khobahi's in a very nice spot right now Penguin8r looks like he's getting some more grinding in. He's going to be in a good spot there. Elmagus is going to be the first to show us what is in this tower item. Doing his best there. And Dusty is going to be picking up his Fusoya here directly. Gosh, I don't know who Dusty is going to surrender for this. He's got a pretty solid party, but you need a healer at some point. And Night Dew in chat brings up a good point. Darkness at the top of the tower would send Elmagus to the moon, and I have to agree. That would be the worst debate ever.
There's a question in chat. Where was Fu? Fusoya is in Dwarf Castle. And we've got Penguin8r to be checking the. Going to be disappointed by the Luca cave dive as well.
Oh, Darkness Crystal!
Ooh.
Oh, that's not good news for Elmagus.
Yeah, that's definitely. Does he go and dive moon and hope and think the crystal's up there, or does he go check Ordeals before doing that?
If you're playing the percents, and Elmagus is in an interesting position in terms of the league as a whole. Remember, Elmagus has 2 first-place finishes, so already at 8 points. Really, as soon as you get about 10 points, you're probably safe to be in the top 16. I think Elmagus has the luxury of playing safe here. He doesn't have to make the gambles like a dustygriff or even Khobahi, who has no races done yet. So Elmagus can do the high percent plays, like right now going to the moon, and know that if he gets debated, he's still probably all right.
Yep, high risk, high reward, but can also have, it can also hurt you. But Elmagus also has the least to lose in this race.
Absolutely. Penguin8r getting ready to be disappointed. Insert, what is it? Price is Right fail noise here.
And he's going to peek the boss as well before I'd imagine resetting out. And there he goes. Yeah, we're still only 6 key items in for most runners. That's, once you hit 10, you get that XP bonus. The grind gets a lot easier. So the grind can take a while and kind of be a pain if you don't have those 10 key items. Penguin8r's going up Ordeals.
Oh, this is actually great news for Penguin8r. He will find the crystal here shortly. I gotta think it's Fusoya at this point that's pushing him up here.
I agree. Like I said before, getting those 9 spells for Fusoya. I don't know how close he is to full power. Now, once you get Fusoya at full power, he's definitely a very viable white mage for you. And Magus is gonna go to the moon.
And Magus going to the moon. Khobahi is getting ready to have a really difficult decision. He has a Paladin Cecil that he will decide whether or not he has Stitch. Now, he doesn't have any decent weapons for him, although we happen to know the Crystal Sword is literally right on the other side.
Yes. Does it see the finding edge here is another gamble. I mean, you could ditch Yang and who does he still have? Tella?
Yeah. So let's see what's the decision here.
No, he doesn't.
Dismisses Sid. Okay.
Sid.
And Kane.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That is interesting, but Edge is faster. So that could be his thinking. Edge is much faster.
Yeah, if you set it up just right, I can absolutely see this.
He knew he had Ninja Sword, so maybe. Maybe that played into his call. He has a strength ring he put on, and Penguin8r's about to be quite pleased.
Oh, hey, Bacchus wines on the moon. That's kind of exactly what you need for this particular party, isn't it?
Absolutely. You really don't. I mean, with Vitasia being your white mage at this point, unless you find, someone like Rosa in here in the lunar seat. I mean, you don't want to be using Berserk and burning that MP because Vitasia only has 190. Cure 4 is 40 MP each cast. I guess you could use Cure 3 if you really want, but now we're gonna see who's on the lunar throne.
I want to hope a white mage, like a Rosa or a Porum. Nope.
Oh no.
Best Lunarian ever.
The Spoony Bard waiting
You
for
mean
everybody at the moon.
Moony Bard?
Moony Bard. The
Oh,
Spoony Moony.
I stole that from Alexa. I'm totally yeah, thank you, Alexa LaFay.
Oof. Elmagus is gonna start diving moon here and seeing what he could find. Set out of. Oh, I guess he was checking the ball. He was checking boss it. Or what was? Huh. I didn't see his reset. I didn't see what happened. Oh, Ogopogo.
The Ogopogo reset, yep. So, yeah, Khobahi is going to be the only one with the crystal sword in this entire game, and I think he's slightly happy.
Well, that makes Cecil put out some serious DPS. Bacchus wine, get him berserked. I mean, Khobahi hasn't put adamant armor anybody yet. Throw that on Cecil. Putting out some serious damage. Did he just sell it?
No, he didn't sell it.
And we got Elmagus is going to do some King Ryu grinds down here.
So, Khobahi and Penguin8r have the...
Well, Khobahi is on his way being in go mode.
Oh my, he will be the first one there.
Fight away from go mode. All right, let's see. And who was the boss at the top of Babel? I know it wasn't too bad.
Rubikit? Antlion, that's it.
Chat saying Antlion?
Yep. Antlion, I believe.
Antlion, definitely, yeah. Antlion only attacks with physical and a counter. His counter can be kind of nasty, but he'll have no problem at his levels.
No, and then all he's got to really do is grind after this.
And Dusty's on his way as well. Dusty is on his way to get Darkness Crystal. He's gonna get baited.
That's what I'm worried about. And Dusty's got to make the gamble plays too, given his second and third place finishes. And I got to think he's going up to the moon as soon as he can too.
And this is where things are interesting in the later, as we were talking about, in the later races for this this league. The runners know where they stand, and they know what they need to do to continue. So Dusty as you said, Dusty probably is going to take the biggest gambles today.
It would make sense for him to take it. But, you know, if you get the Darkness Crystal, maybe the bigger gamble is staying on the Earth, doing the opposite of what elmagus would do. And elmagus is getting jebaited by that moon, so I could absolutely see him staying here on the world.
Yep, especially with Fu, but looks like Fusoya, or what is his Fusoya at? That would get him to full power. Ordeals would very quickly get him to full power.
Penguin8r going down to the land of the summoned monsters. He is not going to the tower where we know where his darkness crystal is. It's the wrong way, but I mean, he could still find pass here, right?
It's possible. There are two spots for pass, and the bosses, while they're nasty, are not completely impossible. So he this could swing for him. You got Octomam down guarding the ribbon chests.
And I think Octomam, if I recall, hits like an absolute truck in this particular spot.
He does, but every 3 hits on Octomam, he will start to lose his tentacles and he will slow down. So even a 112 like Palom just hit is beneficial for this attack. I mean for this boss. Let's see. Yep, Dusty got his darkness crystal. Khobahi got his darkness crystal and is out. He is going to, looks like checking some shops here.
Might be checking, just trying to get a couple more items, but I'm pretty sure he's set at this point.
Yeah, he's got good equipment. He has. Was he the one that has Cecil with the crystal sword?
Yeah, Khobahi is the one with Crystal Sword Cecil. So you might be shopping for some, maybe, possibly, like 2 or 3 coffins, but Crystal Sword will still make it pretty easy.
Yes, Khobahi, if that's what he was looking for when he gets to the moon, if he peeks that shop, which he needs to because of Bacchus wine, he'll see the coffins and be like, well, darn.
Yeah, Penguin8r starting his wonderful Beigen fight.
Beigen fight is not fun. Personally, one of my least favorite bosses in the entire game. Now he does have illusions, which will cast blink, and that gives you 3 hits. And Beigen attacks mostly with physical attacks, I believe. Once you take out those arms, you pretty much get a turn or so before he recovers them, but the arms can do the majority of the physical damage. Quake takes them all out. We got the Dark Elf. And which spot was that? Where he is, where elmagus is?
Yeah, he is at the White Lance spot. So it's not this isn't going to be necessarily easy, but once he gets to the second phase, he'll be able to use things like stop and he'll be all right. And there's the second phase.
Dusty's doing it. It looks like Dusty's doing his grind now. Gonna go ahead and do his grind, and makes me think he might actually do Ordeals.
Either that or he's doing his grind in preparation of going to the moon.
Oh. That he may go ahead to Ordeals to full, power up Fu, and if he finds the Darkness Crystal, all he's got to do is run.
Well, we shall see. I mean, it's an interesting race. It's Khobahi's race to lose at this point. He is in such a good spot right now.
And we look like we have, let's see.
So the question right now will be, how high does Khobahi get? What kind of level, like, what do you think he'll be comfortable with?
I'm not sure you want, unless you're really comfortable nuking those big bangs, you might want Palom a little higher HP.
He's getting close to what I would say is kind of a good level for Cecil. I don't know. I need to check his next menu. Wow, he's fast. So I can't even see what level he's at. But I got to think Cecil's getting close to being killed off in order to make sure he doesn't get a bad Agi anchor.
Yeah, you want a multiple of 14. 14, 28, 42. One under is awful. One under one of those multiples is really bad. He's gonna be really fast. One over isn't the end of the world. You want that multiple though. And Penguin8r's resetting out of the Kanazo fight. What did he receive from the Baigan fight? I did not see.
And my screen was a little bit blurry there, so I did not quite see it either. And Khobahi's shopping?
Yeah. He might be looking for Bacchus wine.
Well, we know where the Bacchus wine is, and with this party, you can certainly want him to do that, but he'll find it up on the moon as soon as he goes up there, and I think that's going to be a good spot for him.
Yeah. I think that might be his next move.
We see Penguin8r committing to Kinyatso. He took a death here earlier, or a reset, one of the two. So he's going to be practicing some Kinyatso fights maybe a little bit later.
Ooh, elmagus ran into Yang down there on the moon. Which, for the glass helm. We'll take this time right now while everything's going on. Thank RPG Limit Break for hosting this today. Unknown availability for restreaming, as well as Isalba for tracking. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate that. Vitasia and I get the job of talking. You guys definitely do the heavy lifting here.
Penguin is going to continue to beat his head against this Kinyatso. Also, keep in mind that this isn't the last race that we have today. We have two more races going on a little bit later. At 7 o'clock Eastern, over on Randomania, we have another league race, Night Dew, Rivers McCown, Ogda Jr., and Chakasura, all going to be doing their league race. That's going to be absolutely hype as well. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on RPG Limit Break, we also have Dragon Darch, Ravlin, and Z-Man, and, they'll be racing some scrub, I think. Me. The scrub is me, so.
Well, I cannot wait to watch that tonight.
Khobahi getting his Bacchus wine, so, he's very happy to see that. This is a melee-heavy fight. Bacchus wines are just exactly what you need.
Oh, elmagus is gonna get baited even more. Looks like, with the Dragon Mist.
Dragon Mist to Baron Key, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Khobahi's just gonna start running. Yes, misgiving the Baron Key would be an awful troll. Penguin is going to climb. There it goes. Penguin will be climbing up Babel, and will be very happy with what he finds. Found some Artemis arrows. Okay.
He's still opening treasure chests, which is a little bit interesting. I thought that he was pretty well equipped. He might be looking for just kind of maybe just some best of equipment, maybe a White Lance or a Dragon Spear for Kane. I don't really know.
Yeah, you always get that chance of finding a really powerful weapon in one of these chests. So, the level he's at, these fights should be pretty easy. Not take too much time. And we'll see what we pick up from that chest. Elmagus is using blink strats here for the Dragon Mist. Dragon Mist in later spots does hit extremely hard.
That he does. Dusty is given his shot at Kenyazzo. Is that's Italian, isn't it?
I am not 100% sure. I always
Yeah.
said Kainazo, but I don't know.
I believe, if I remember, the Scarmiglione, Cagnazzo, and then Rubicante and Vivales, although I don't know if it's Vivales actually, are named after characters from Dante's Inferno.
Okay. That's just what we're getting. Invenerable is confirming in chat.
Barbarica, that's it. Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
See, as a music teacher, I cannot read. Once I get to the letter G, it starts over. So, ooh, the Avenger Sword for Elmagus.
I mean, if you're gonna have it, might as well.
But he does not have anybody to equip that Avenger on, I do not believe.
Oh, he ditched his cane, didn't
He
he?
did ditch Kane. So the original name is pronounced Kanyatzo.
Yeah, I believe so. If I'm just mimicking the DS version, and I've played this, I mean, the Steam port quite a bit as well, because I love this game, and you know what? That's why I was so happy to find this particular randomizer community, because it's awesome.
This, yes, definitely. This has been one of the greatest communities I've had the privilege to be a part of. So much fun. If you are not a part of the community and would like to be, definitely jump on in, join the Discord, get talking to people. It's fantastic. It's awesome.
It does look like Ko is stopping and doing some King Ryu fights, which can give you quite a bit of experience at this point in time. A little bit faster. Yeah, he's just letting Zerk Cecil go to town.
Yep, he's gonna do. He's also gonna drop some life potions on the on those down King Rio. That will bring back the King Rio with 0 HP and count as an extra kill. So that Ryu, sorry, that will give him extra experience, just like he killed 3 as opposed to 2.
Yeah, and chat pointing out Muppets in Space saying he's looking for 33 Agi. He's going to do kind of an interesting thing. When you have a Dwarf Axe or a Dream Sword on Cecil, when you start the fight, it gives him -5 agility. So you'll hit that 28, real key spot to start the fight. Then you can switch to the Crystal Sword, and Zero Miss will still behave with his speed as if Cecil was at that 28 agility. Which means he'll still hit like a truck, but you get the benefit of the super slow Zero Miss.
Oh, and Dusty Griff has moved Kanyatso to the Shell Remedy phase. Kane down to 54 HP. They got Fu back up, and he is back out. This is a very tricky fight for Dusty.
It's just not a fun fight. I don't know if Penguin8r ever actually downed it, or if he noped out and says, I can't spend this much time at this point.
I'm not sure.
Oh, and it does look like Elmagus is doing an interesting strat. Edge, I believe, had a wall up, so he's all Plague was doing is just keep casting count because he's registering someone didn't have count.
Yep. And a ribbon for his troubles. Dusty resetting out of that fight. I think we're all sitting here saying, Dusty, go to Ordeals. Dusty, go to Ordeals. He's going to try it again. And Khobahi looks like he is almost ready to go. Probably just one more fight with the King Rios, and he will run straight down.
Yeah, this is one of those things that I think a lot of people, I mean, different people have different philosophies, I guess. When you commit to a gamble like this to say, okay, this is kind of an out-of-the-way gamble with Kenyatso. I'm going to continue to beat my head against the wall until I get past it, knowing that this is probably a pretty difficult fight. So if the crystal is here, he'll be happy. But we just know better.
Now Magus is going to go figure out what Rydia's mom is going to give.
Pass, maybe pass.
If it's pass, all he has to do is Ordeals, and let's find out. Ooh. Well,
it's nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
It is nice. Let's see. Yeah, Dusty is really committed to the Kenyatso fight. He is convinced that there will be something that he needs here. And Elmagus is going to go check the tower key. Elmagus is his aversion to Ordeals is may bite him here.
So let it be known to all of you runners who will still have to face elmagus at some point, hard gamble Ordeals.
Yeah, it's Khobahi really is really leveling them up good, gang. He should be good to go unless he doesn't have any decent equipment for Palom. That could be something that he's concerned about, so he wants to level up enough. But personally,
I'm good. Yeah.
He's gonna use a dwarf axe to lower Cecil's agility. And put the adamant on Yang. So it looks like Cecil's going to be taking a nap.
Where are all the headpieces? Both Young and Cecil have no headgear on.
So it looks like Dusty is probably going to finish off this Kenyatso fight. We'll see what he gets for his trouble. There, he got him. Soya full power, and he gets the pan. So that's going to lead him on a nice little chase.
I mean, at this point, he's full committed. He's got to follow this. He's got to hope that moon dip will lead him to something.
Right. See, he's gonna go smack Yang upside the head with a pan. Could give him the pass, but he already has a darkness crystal. Let's see. And Khobahi is going for it.
He is. All right, this is going to be our first attempt. We're going to see one of the other seeds, that wonderful Z flag that you see. Just a little funsy thing. We don't know what Zemus' true form is going to be.
Yeah, we shall see. I believe Shalakitty has put in over 250 different sprites for Zeromus.
I believe that in the scientific community, that many is known as a crap ton.
Yes. And let's see who Zeromus's true colors are Gur, or some variation there. Oh, wow.
Moon!
So does that mean Khobahi has 3 days to finish this fight?
You know what? All I see is the moon on the moon, and I'm a little bit concerned. And
That's...
Dusty finds the pass from Sheila.
Uh-oh. He may, if he runs toward, because I believe has he done his grind? Is his grind finished?
I don't know. I haven't seen him pause for a bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen a, if his grind is done, he decides to poke into Ordeals, which he's gonna do. Okay, he's gonna be very happy he did that. You know, he'll be happy when he sees this. This should be a very easy. He's not even bothering with chess. He's just running straight up to get this over with.
Yeah, this is absolutely good news for Dusty because he needs a solid finish at this point in time, and he's going up here even before elmagus. This elmagus has the highest percentage of all the runners in the league, has the highest statistical likelihood of being our champion. We've run a lot of numbers. That's not to say he's going to do it, but him being in last place, last to get the crystal at very least, is what one might call interesting.
Well, that just shows how exciting this randomizer in this community can be, because, I mean, you could be playing against someone who is ranked very high and statistically does very well, and one or two bad decisions or one or two good decisions on your part can really pull you ahead. So there is an element of luck, as well as an element of skill. And Khobahi with the crystal sword on Cecil Berserked he's hitting 7,000. I mean, this is going to be a very, very fast fight. We've seen one big bang. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see any more big bangs.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting shakes off. He's doing nuke strats. He's in a great position right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he pushed him into medio phase at this point. Because, you know, look at Palom. Yep, there he goes. He is done. Congratulations. GG to Khobahi.
GG
Wow.
Khobahi. So his first race win. So 3 out of the 4 runners in this particular race have won at least one of their races. GG. What do you think all of these runners are thinking right now? I think Penguin8r knows what he's got to do.
I think, yeah, once they see that done in the IRC, I wouldn't be surprised if they took off to Ordeals. Or they could think that, you know, Khobahi just made a really lucky early guess they missed. You never know. Now, elmagus knows that it's not demissed, but none of the other runners do. And there is Khobahi. Congratulations on your first place. That was exciting.
Thank you. Yeah, the crystal auto deals is kind of troll, but yeah.
Yeah, that crystal, I mean, it's safe to say, won you the game. We know Penguin8r has picked it up. Dustygriff is just now picking it up. elmagus, still looking for it.
Yeah, I figured once I got that on Ordeals, I knew I had a chance to beat at least Magus, because he avoids Ordeals like the plague.
But even then, and then the darkness crystal being in the tower, that you went up there without the tower key. I mean, that's real lucky that was your go mode item, because I mean, a lot of these other runners got baited up to the moon before that.
Yeah, I mean, when I got the crystal, I was really excited, and then realized that I didn't have a way actually to Zeromus. Did the Earth Crystal, which got me some characters, including Cecil, which ended up with a crystal sword. That was nice.
Now, also, what made you decide to keep Cecil in Zot? Because all of our other runners ditched him as soon as they saw him.
Well, I already had him Paladin, and I don't know, even with agility anchor stuff, I still prefer him over Sid. I don't know, it's just a personal thing.
Yeah, to be fair, the other runners didn't do Ordeals first. So they it was the Dark Knight Cecil, so they knew, oh, if this guy was going to be worth anything, he'd have to commit to Ordeals, and they were all hoping not to. And then immediately after being rewarded with the Crystal Sword, like, oh, well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, I made the Ordeals play half because I knew people avoid it and was basically going for the risk, and then otherwise because I had Fusoya to get spells, because easy spells on Ordeals.
Well, it turned out to be a very good play.
As it seems.
Were you very excited to see that crystal sword as soon as, I believe you may have just talked about this, as soon as you finished Zot?
Yeah, I mean, I was very happy to get the Crystal Sword. I would have rather had, the Darkness Crystal of the past right there, but, I can't complain.
You still took first place. I mean, that was some amazing play. Great choices. It was awesome to watch. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks.
So, Khobahi, let's talk a little bit about your other races, because, I mean, you got first place in this one, and let's face it, Penguin8r and elmagus, not to take anything away from dustygriff, this looked on paper to be a pretty intimidating race, and you ended up with first place in this. How does that line you up for the rest of this league?
Obviously, I'm happy to take the first place, especially with elmagus in the run. I mean, in the top 32, anyone can have a good run with K2, so nothing's free. I still gotta win some races. I still have great races in all my next races, so... Oh, I have one in 2 days, don't I? Oh, no.
Yeah, you race again on, what day is it?
Tuesday.
Yep, Tuesday against, I can't read.
We have Great White Hope, Inveterable, and Ravlin.
Ravlin,
And that
yes.
is at, looks like, 10 o'clock Eastern, right here on RPG Limit Break.
Well, so now this is your first league race since the qualifiers. How do you feel? Do you like this flag set better than the qualifier flag set?
I'm always a fan of the high K seed, so K2 is way better than K1. It's a lot less linear and can lead to more routing stuff, which is nice. And I also like the not always getting free loot. The T4 S3 before it's pretty much free loot and free attack items in shops, which you don't get anymore.
It looks like Magus has just got his Earth Crystal, so he is probably cursing.
His Crystal, not his Earth Crystal.
That's what I meant, Crystal.
So it's really interesting because elmagus has his Crystal, has his grind finished. However, he never went and got the pass, which ended up being on Sheila. So he's going to have to do the full run. Meanwhile, Dusty has the pass, and as soon as he finishes up his grind, we'll be able to just go right in. It's going to come down to the wire. Penguin8r is on his Zeromus fight right now, so unless he botches something here, is going to be a safe bet for second place. Third and fourth between dustygriff and elmagus. This is going to be really, really tight here.
Well, I think elmagus hit Yang with the pan a while, so if he chooses to go poke in Sheila and hope it's the pass, that could pay off for him.
I mean, at this point, I don't see anything else that it could be. Like, he has done almost everything else, and it looks like he's doing it. No, he's not.
He's, where is he going? Turning in he's gonna turn in the tails. Yeah, he's gonna do that. He'll do that as soon. I would hope. He'll turn in rat tail, pink tail. I think he did turn in rat tail already. But he'll get himself an adamant armor for his trouble.
Yeah, and there's the Baron key from the rat tail, so it'll be good there.
Let's see. Let's see what his choice is going to be. Now, Khobahi, I believe I can't remember. You had a wyvern pop up in a. Was that? It was at the end of Dwarf Castle early. Was that correct?
Yes.
Did that how many NSs did you have to take after that fight?
I was ready to reset and then realized a couple of my characters lived, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then it was from there. It's not that hard because he puts a wall up and single targets some nukes, and that spot doesn't have much health. So
Yeah, it's only about 3,000 health. So yeah, we saw that happen and we're like, oh goodness. But you pulled it off really well. So congratulations on that. Looks like dustygriff pulled the adamant armor off Kane and is putting it on Fusoya.
Yeah, wants to keep his healer up. Fusoya was the only healer, and he was sitting there hiding behind a wyvern. So,
Yep.
yeah, having Fusoya as my only healer is half the reason I did the higher level of the basically 2 that I usually aim for, just so I knew I wouldn't have to heal often.
Yeah, you did several King Ryu grind fights down there. But it definitely paid off because what you had one big bang, is that all we saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't even get the meteor phase, you just destroyed him, so
Yeah,
that was one of the
I
one
did
of
a
the
bunch of
first
eggs
fights.
first, and then realized, I only have Fusoya. So I went to the moon hoping for a white mage to then boost with the Ryus. Didn't get one, so just boosted with the Ryus anyways.
You mean you didn't want to take Edward with you to the Z fight?
I actually half considered taking Edward, just so he died to the first big bang, and not having Palom.
Okay. Which would have spread the healing out a little bit better amongst the other 3, but
Yes.
oh man, Penguin8r's in kind of a rough spot right now, and there's a black hole. Oh man, he let an unnerved Big Bang go through at the worst time.
no, he's gonna try to get him up. He put a Star Veil on Fu, and hoping that this next attack's a nuke that goes directly on him. We shall. Oh, he's gonna use reflex strats. Try to get some damage down. Dusty's in the Z fight. Dusty's in the Moonimus fight.
Oh, and there it is. Clutched!
Wow.
Penguin8r.
Oh my goodness, that was. Wow, it looked like he was done. Looked like it was over for him and he was going to be wipe on that, but that was a clutch reflected nuke. Man.
All right, so we have dustygriff on his Moonimus fight, using, looks like he's doing some reflex strats, getting ready to set up with Palom. And otherwise, he's going to Bacchus and Bacchus and Bacchus. Wait, he doesn't have Bacchus.
No, he didn't look in the shop. He just did. He took the pass, went in that way.
Oh, right. This ought to be a little bit tight then here between the two.
Dusty is the only one that used the pass, and the only one that picked up the pass. And there's Penguin8r, GG.
Thank you.
Man, that clutch Moonimus fight.
Not quite the ideal party for that, but it worked.
Yeah, I thought not to not have faith, but I thought it was that was definite wipe. And then you got them up, and wow, well done.
Thank you.
Oh man! So walk us through. First of all, the only decent white mage that you found was Fusoya, that anyone found really, behind a wyvern.
So, I mean, early on, the seed was quite easy. Really good characters came out pretty quickly. But, like you said, no white mage and no moon access for a while. And the crystal was behind Ordeals, which was kind of tricky. And then... Oh, Cecil had Zot, and then the Crystal Sword right after. That was a nice touch. So I dropped him, of course, without the Crystal Sword. And yeah, having Edge, I regretted just because I found no weapons for him, so he ended up being the agility anchor. Let's see. I thought I was going to lose once I saw that Darkness Crystal, because I was down to Tower of Babel and Kignazo, and so I thought at that point I had to go Kignazo, because if it was Tower, then I thought everyone else would be ahead of me. But ended up not being that, which I guess turned out in my favor in the end. Yeah, quite the seed.
It was fun to watch. Either way, we got to see kind of some interesting strats going on there and some extra leveling that you guys had to do, all because of that lack of white mage power. Tilla was a nice little band-aid for a second, but I mean, you guys, it felt super free early on, and then it got a little bit more difficult.
It was. The only boss I was scared of was Kinazo and I guess the Wyvern, which fortunately the Adamant saved me there, because I hadn't found Starveils. So were Bacchus available somewhere?
They're in the naming way shop, or the
Okay, yeah.
on the moon.
Yeah, I figured by that point, the only thing I'd care about was Cure 3, then it wasn't worth checking for them, because I was already committed. I was actually really happy to see Edward on the moon, because I really should have checked before grinding, and if it was a mage I would have taken them and that would have been a lot easier. But it turned out it was Edward, so it didn't matter.
Dustygriff and elmagus are both on their final fights here. It is super, super close.
Looks like Dusty triggered the HP refill, so it's pretty close. This is a very close fight. And I don't believe elmagus has nuke on Palom. I think that he's just bouncing virus from Palom.
Yeah, this is... yeah, I think he did pick up the Bacchus lines earlier, so he's just letting those guys go to town and then trying to get whatever damage off he can.
And Dusty takes third place. Dusty does it. 125 even. Wow.
So Dustygriff in third place, and elmagus once he finishes this is going to be in fourth place. That crystal on Mount Ordeals really kind of pulled him in the opposite direction, but hey, rando's gonna rando sometimes, guys.
Absolutely, and this this was an extremely close race. Khobahi taking the commanding lead there because he did that early Ordeals check, and that got him. He had his plan from the start. Everyone else was within about 5 minutes of each other, 5-6 minutes. So very close race.
Yeah, and elmagus just finished in less than a minute of Dustygriff. We'll have Dusty in here shortly.
Dusty, GG, congratulations.
Thank you. That was something.
And also joining us, elmagus. So, Ordeals.
Ordeals.
Yeah, I mean, that happens. I still think this was probably my best race that I did so far. And I think if it's not an Ordeals, I win this seed either way. Like, no matter where the crystal is except for there, I win. But sometimes the one item you need is in the one location that is actually not good to check, and then that happens. Unfortunate, but what can you do?
Yeah, that Ordeals crystal and then the darkness crystal being in the tower. Megas, you did get pulled up into the moon, and that, we knew because we had seen Khobahi get the crystal before you had got the darkness crystal, and we were hoping that you wouldn't get pulled, but still got pulled to the moon, unfortunately. This was just a super tight race because of, you guys had just thrown your top melee characters to start off with, but then your only decent white mage that you had was locked behind a wyvern.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't really a problem, though. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I think like I played this really, really well. The best race so far that I did, honestly. It's just like really unfortunate how it turned out. Like I played super well, so can't really do much.
And that's the joy and the glory of randomizers. Anything can happen, right?
Yep. I also think that going to Ordeals is a mistake, especially in my case. But you know, if it's there, it's there. I don't know. Like, I mean, you can make a case. Khobahi, you probably had Cecil, right? So you can make a case for that, probably.
No, I actually hadn't got Cecil yet. I did it mostly for Fusoya spells.
Oh man, that's a mistake, man. Oh, whatever. It's fine. You had so much access. You had an adamant armor. You definitely did not need to go to Ordeals. But yeah, I mean, I wish I didn't have the adamant armor because then you can make a case for it as well.
And that Kenyatso turns out, I'm just seeing the credits scroll through. Kenyatso, which several of our runners were kind of beating their heads against, and he was being a champ, had the hook of all things. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got through him on the second try, which took a little while. I was kind of banking a bit on that no one else would do it and hoping that he was covering something that would be worthwhile. Yeah, so that was something. I think the hook was actually on a 0 spot and Pan was on Kanaitsu.
Okay, okay.
And Pan got the pass, so.
And Pan got the pass, so that did allow me to get through to 0 miss a little quicker at the end there, which was kind of nice.
Yeah, so that lost me 2 spots too. Nice.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I didn't go back for the pass because I got Baron Key from the Red Tail. So I essentially had 3 chances at pass, which, like, I don't know. Maybe I should have checked, but at the same time, I could have also lost the place through that checking. So I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Well, it was absolutely fun watching all of our runners today. This was a fantastic race. I was hype all week. I was so hyped yesterday when I found out I was commentating this race. I could not wait. So I really enjoyed watching all of you play.
Thanks, GG to everybody. Hope you guys keep doing well. And thank you for the commentary. Thank you very much.
GG.
GG's, guys.
Yep, and GG to all of our runners, Khobahi, Penguin8r, dustygriff, and elmagus. Go ahead and give them a follow here on Twitch if you like what you saw from these guys. Keep in mind, we still have more free Enterprise Randomizer coming at you later today. Again, at 7 o'clock Eastern on Randomania, Night Dew, Rivers McCown, Opta Jr., and Chakasura will have their league race. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern, Dragon Darch, Ravlin, Z-Man, and some chump named Vitasia will be racing right here on RPG Limit Break. Big shout out to our wonderful tracker, Isalba Glacier in chat helping us, and my wonderful co-commentator, PMAkfal. Thank you so much for working with me, man.
Well, thank you. I had a blast. Thank you, RPG Limit Break, for hosting us. And once again, yes, unknown availability for restreaming. Isalba for his or her tracking. And yeah, it was a blast. I really enjoyed commentating with you. I enjoyed talking with all these runners. And I'll let you close it out before we take off.
Oh, I mean, that pretty well does it for us. We'll go ahead and see you guys later tonight over on Randomania or here on RPG Limit Break. In the meantime, we'll see you guys later.
All right.